Our first speaker is Mr. Nimesha Jinarajadasa, Associate Solutions Architect at KodeKloud Singapore, CEO and founder of Codeku DevOps Academy with years of experience in cloud technologies and DevOps practices. Mr. Nimesha is known for his expertise in building scalable web technologies in the cloud and for mentoring hundreds of students and professionals to become job-ready in the ever-evolving tech world. Joining us next is Mr. Tharindu Kalhara, CTO and COO at Codeku DevOps Academy, top-rated online instructor and freelancer, and alumnus of BICT, University of Sri Jayewardenepura. Mr. Tharindu is well known in tech community for his hands-on teaching style and deep knowledge in web technologies and cloud-based systems. Today, he will be guiding us through how AW is driving global innovation and how we as students and developers can be a part of it. These two industry leaders are here today to inspire, guide, and empower you to take your first step into the world of cloud with confidence and creativity. So, let's give them a warm virtual welcome. Mr. Nimesha Jinarajadasa, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Nandali, again for the introduction. Thank you very much. And hey, everyone, good evening. So great to see you all here. I hope you are doing well and maybe grabbed a cup of tea or coffee because we are going to have a pretty exciting session tonight. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Nimesha. For a quick background, I've been in the tech industry for a little over 9 years now. And I spent the first 6 to 7 years as a full stack software engineer at IFS. Hope you all know about IFS. Where I got my hands on hands dirty building real world applications front end to back end. Maybe you are not sure about what is front end and back end at the moment, but anyway, after this session, we will get to know about what is front end and back end, right? And that's where I really learned the ropes, how software gets built, what breaks, and how teams come together to make things work, right? And for the past 3 years, I've been working full time at KodeKloud as an associate technical architect or software architect. And it's been a whole kind of a different ride. I was a software engineer for around 6 to 7 years, and now I am more focusing on cloud DevOps and helping thousands of learners build solid technical skills through hands-on content and stuff, right? And I've also been leading a lot of technical marketing and content strategy work at KodeKloud, so which gave me a broader view of where this industry is already heading, right? Along the way, I also started my my own small initiative called Codeku DevOps Academy, right? So it's basically a learning space where I share career guidance and study paths and real world project experience with all these students like you and even the engineers who are already in industry, right? Either just starting out or looking to grow in IT industry. And at the moment we have got close to 3,000 learners on our platform. So feel free to go and check out Codeku DevOps Academy. DevOpsacademy.online. That is the URL. You can check that out after this session as well. So today, while Tharindu, our CTO at Codeku DevOps Academy, who dives deep into the technical side of this web application development, which is the topic for today's session, and how everything works under the hood, and then I'll be focusing more on the career side of things, right? We'll talk about what kind of skills companies actually look for, and how to build your profile, and where this whole web app cloud space can take you, right? So this is going to be super chill and interactive. So if something sparks your curiosity or you have got any questions, throw them in anytime. Okay, let's make this session useful for you. This session is not for us, this session is for you, so make maximum out of this session. All right, let's get rolling. Tharindu, please go ahead and continue the session. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So first of all, I will give a quick introduction to myself. My name is Tharindu Kalhara, and I am the CTO of Codeku DevOps Academy, and I have worked in the real IT for the past years. And the special thing is, I am also a Japura person, and I'm still in Japura. So it is an honor to be a part of this web development bootcamp series. So let's get started. So this is a 3-day web development bootcamp, and this is the day one of this. And in the first day, we are going to understand what is web development and why this is introduced. So therefore, we need to start from a position why this is started and what are the reasons for that. Otherwise, we can't jump into the middle and start and going forward. So by when continuing in the session, I will use both Sinhala and English mediums to combination, and otherwise you will be some sleepy as well. So this is the first day outline of our session. As you can see, we are covering these topics. So I'm not taking so much time to see these slides. Before going forward, I want to ask you a question. So why web development is there? What is the purpose of web development and building websites? You can use the chat and send me a direct message as well. Yeah, that's correct. So this is our first slide. This slide shows why we use the web applications. So the main reason why we use web application or websites is to access information or services. Think in day-to-day life, we are accessing websites. They can be educational websites, your university websites, some grocery sites, or some e-commerce sites. They provide us some information or service, and we can connect with others. Think a platform like Facebook, WhatsApp, and so. These are platform or another side. These are websites. So it allows us to communicate with each other and also access information and services. So the web development is the process of building websites and web apps that run on the internet. So when the web apps and websites are hosted on the internet, we can access them through the internet. So there are no physical boundaries when we host it on the internet. So there are two words, websites and web apps. So when we are going deeper into this session, we will cover what are the differences between these web app and websites. So examples for these platforms and web services and websites, we can show Facebook, Amazon, and so millions of websites. So before going forward, I want to show the basic of this web development. So there can be different kind of persons. Some can be in expert level in web development, and some can be in moderate level, and even there can be some beginners as well. So however, we need to start from a point where everyone can start and go. Therefore, I have to start from a common point where we all can learn our journey. So this is the basic model of how internet works. This is called the client server model. Uh, I think you have already known this topic, and we are, yeah, let's dive into this. So in the left side, you can see this image. This is a house. This is typical house, and there is a father and two children. So the children are asking some foods and books from his father, and his father is serving these kinds of goods to their children. So in the right side, in the real world scenario, you can see a server. This server is not a special thing. This is just a computer, and this computer is much more powerful than our normal computers. This has high RAM capacity, storage capacity, and more processing power. So the client A, B, C, and D are the normal computers, and you and me are using as now are also related to the client computer. So the main or central point of the computer is our server, and server serves the clients. Like in the left scenario, this is similar to the real world in the client server model. So going forward, we need to have to know how we can get access to the website. So imagine a situation where you open your browser, and in the browser tab, you enter facebook.com and press enter. So how this web browser or your computer knows where the Facebook's server is located. So think our computer is an isolated environment before connecting to the internet, but the computer or the browser needs to know where the Facebook comes. So the process of finding out where the website is hosted is creating like this. So I have numbered this in order manner. So in the first process is check its DNS cache. So DNS cache means the browser has some cache memory in the browser engine, and if we have already visited that website earlier, this stores this IP address and its values. So if it's also, then we can access this IP address directly. So if it is not the scenario, we need to go for the third. So we need to ask for the DNS server. This DNS means domain name server. We need to put a request to the domain name server, and the domain name server does is what? Domain name server translates our human readable domain names into machine readable IP addresses. Actually, this is IP address is the address of our web servers. You know, this domain part is basically can be read by humans, but the machines can't read this, and the way of machines identifying is IP addresses. So once this IP address received, the browser can send a HTTP request to that server, and this server is the Facebook server. So the Facebook server then put a HTTP response back, and that can be 200 successful, 404 that is unsuccessful message. You have already seen that. So this is the basic procedure of how a web page load when we type URL in our browser and press enter. So you may have heard about front end and back end. So what is the major difference between the front end and back end? You can use your chat.
Sorry to interrupt, Tharindu. So guys, just don't hesitate to talk, okay? I mean, like this is going to be a kind of a interactive session. So this session is for you guys. So you can like ask questions. If anything is doubtful, you can just raise questions and just unmute your microphone and just ask. Or even you can if you are if you are scared to talk with us, then please use your chat and ask any questions. That's fine, because we are here to give you something, right? So just don't hesitate, just ask questions. Okay.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask. You can even turn on the mic or use the chat instead. Please tell what are the facts you know about what is front end and what is back end.
So at least have you heard about these two words, like front end and back end? If any of you heard at least these phrases, just raise your hand or just put yes, yes, yes in our meeting chat. We just want to see some interaction here. If not, you are going to sleep. I'm pretty sure now it's 8:30. I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to sleep. Okay, Sandhani, yeah, we are getting some hands raised. That means at least you are awake. Yeah, that's cool, man. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We are getting a lot of responses back. Yeah, you are correct. So there are two components, front end and back end. In the front end is the actual view, what we can see. හරි මම මෙතන ඉඳන් සිංහලත් පොඩ්ඩක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නම් නැත්නම් ඔයාලටත් නිදිමත හැදෙනවා මටත් නිදිමත හැදෙනවා පොඩ්ඩක් රෙස්පොන්සස් අඩු වුණොත් ඔයාලගෙන් ඒක නිසා මම දෙකම පොඩ්ඩක් කම්බයින් කරලා මික්ස් එකේ කරගෙන යන්නම් ඔයාලට මොකක් හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් chat එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් මයික් එක ඔන් කරලා කතා කරත් කමක් නැහැ ඕන විදිහකට මේක ඉන්ටරැක්ටිව් විදිහට කරමු මොකද මේ සෙෂන් එක අපි කරන්නේ ඔයාලා වෙනුවෙන් හරි එතන ඉඳන් අපි බලමු මොකද්ද මේ ෆ්‍රන්ට් එන්ඩ් එක සහ බෑක් එන්ඩ් එක කියන්නේ කියලා ෆ්‍රන්ට් එන්ඩ් එක කියලා කියන්නේ අපිට වෙබ්සයිට් එකකට ගියාට පස්සේ කෙලින්ම අපිට හම්බෙන ඉන්ටර්ෆේස් එක. ඉතින් මෙතනදී තමයි අපිට බටන්ස් ක්ලික් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ, ඉන්ටරැක්ට් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ, ෆෝම්ස් එක සබ්මිට් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ, වීඩියෝ එකක් බලන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. මෙන්න මේ වගේ ඉන්ටරැක්ෂන්ස් කරන්න අපිට පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ ෆ්‍රන්ට් එන්ඩ් එකේදී. Then the backend, what is this is, you can see the authentication, user management, file sharing, post access, password reset, examination. So මේ ගැන දැන් වැඩිපුර හිතන්න එපා. මම මේ උදාහරණයකට අරගෙන තියෙන අපේ Codeku DevOps Academy එකේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකේ ඉන්ටර්ෆේස් එක. එතකොට මෙතෙන්දී දැන් ඔයාලට දැන් ගියත් devopsacademy.online කියන URL එකට ගියොත් ඔයාලට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න මේ ඉන්ටර්ෆේස් එක. එතකොට මේක තමයි අපේ front end එක වෙන්නේ. එතකොට back end එක කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මම කලින් ස්ලයිඩ් එකේදී කිව්වා වගේම අපිට වෙබ්සයිට් එකක් ඇක්සස් කරන්න නම් මේක සර්වර් එකක දාලා තියන්න ඕන. අපි කලින් ස්ලයිඩ් එකට ගියා නම් ඔයාලට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ තියෙන වගේ සර්වර් එකක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේකත් අපිට සර්වර් එකක දාලා තියන්න ඕන. එතකොට ඒ සර්වර් එකේ මේක නිකන් දැම්ම කියලා මොනවත් වෙන්නේ නැහනේ. එතකොට අපිට ඕන විදිහට ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් කරලා මේක ප්‍රොසීඩියර් එක සෙට් කරන්න ඕන. That is where we need to set up the backend. So if you go to our website, you can see these sections. ඔයාට අපේ සයිට් එකේ authenticates වෙන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ user name එක password එකක් දීලා ඔයාට අපේ සයිට් එකේ account එකක් හදන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ account එකට අදාළ user management දේවල් අපේ backend එකේ වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ file sharing කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාට අපේ course එකේ enroll වුණොත් ඔයාට course files download කරගන්න පුළුවන්. And you can access our courses and reset your password as well as you can face examinations also. දැන් මම හිතනවා ඔයාට front end එකේ back end එකේ වෙනස තේරෙනවා කියලා. ඉතින් අයිත් පාර මතක් කරන්න ඕන දැන් මෙතන ඉන්න වෙන්න පුළුවන් web development හොඳටම කරලා හොඳ expertise එකක් තියෙන කට්ටිය. ඒ වගේම මේකේ beginners ලා ඉන්නත් පුළුවන්, moderate level එකේ ඉන්න කට්ටිය ඉන්නත් පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේකේ අපි 3-day session එකක් තමයි කරන්නේ. ඒකේ පළවෙනි දවසේ විදිහට අපි අද web development වලට introduction එකක් දෙන්නේ. එතකොට අපිට අර මැද්දෙන් පැනලා එක දිගට cloud වලින් පටන් ගන්න විදියක් නැහැ. මොකද අපි අර හැමෝටම touch වෙගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට තමයි මේක පටන් ගන්න ඕන. එතකොට මම day 2 and 3 ගැන ලොකු දෙයක් කියන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ඔයා ඒක ඇවිල්ලාම බලන්න මම basically කියන්නම් day 2 එකේ අපි cloud hosting ගැන කතා කරනවා. day 3 එකේ අපි deployment model ගැනත් කතා කරන්න බලන් ඉන්නවා. තව industry experts ලා දෙන්නෙක් ගෙනල්ලා. එතකොට මට කලින් කියන්න අමතකුණා මේ දවස් 3ටම ඔයා සහභාගී වුණොත් ඔයාට සර්ටිෆිකේට් එකක් ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ සර්ටිෆිකේට් එක අපි ස්පෙෂල් සර්ටිෆිකේට් එකක් මේ පාර ඉෂුව කරන්නේ. අපේ platform එකේ අපි certification verification system එකක් හදලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒක release කරලා පාවිච්චි කරන්න හම්බෙන first group එක ඔයාලා වෙනවා. හරි. ඔයාලට පොඩ්ඩක් කම්මැලිකම යන්න මම ඒ ටික කිව්වේ. එහෙනම් let's continue this. So we have come to our second topic. This is web technologies overview. So there's another front end, back end and full stack. So this is about the web development bootcamp series no. එතකොට මේ web development bootcamp series එකක් තමයි අපි කරන්නේ. එතකොට ඔයාලා අනිවාර්යෙන් දැන් කලිනුත් කිව්වනේ front end back end අහලා තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ වගේම මෙන්න මේ full stack කියලා වචනයක් අහලා ඇති. එතකොට මෙතන වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද කියලා ගත්තොත් මම උදාහරණයකට මෙතන hotel එකක් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. මේ hotel එකේ ඔයා හිතන්නකෝ ඔයා ගිහිල්ලා dining area එකක් තියෙනවානේ. මෙතන මේස පුටු තියලා ලස්සනට සරලසරලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේක අපිට website එකකට කලින් කිව්වා වගේම front end එකට සමාන කරන්න පුළුවන්. back end කියලා කියන්නේ මේ hotel එකේ පිටිපස්සෙම kitchen එකක් තියෙනවානේ. මේක ඇතුලේ කෑම උයනවා, කෑම කපනවා, බෙදනවා, මේ වගේ ගොඩක් දේවල් එනවා. අර server එක ඇතුලේ authentication ටික, file sharing මේ වගේ දේවල් වුණානේ. අන්න ඒ ටික තමයි මෙන්න මේ back end එකේ වෙන්නේ. back end development කියලා කියන්නේ අන්න ඒ වගේ අපිට user ට පේන්නේ නැති server එක ඇතුලේ වෙන process එකට. ඊට පස්සේ full stack කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ දෙකම කරන්න පුළුවන් එකට. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ මිනිසයාට කෑම උයන්නත් පුළුවන්, මේක serve කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. එතකොට මෙයා මේ process දෙකේදීම සම්බන්ධ වෙනවා. So this man is involving in these two scenarios as well as in the front end and back end. So that is called the full stack development. ඉතින් මෙන්න මේ front end development සහ back end development කියන දෙකම කරන කට්ටියට අපි කියනවා full stack developers ලා කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ front end development සහ back end development කියන දෙකම කරන කට්ටිය ඔය එහෙම දෙකම develop කිරීම අපි full stack development කියලා කියනවා. හරි. එතකොට මම මේ ටික brief කියාගෙන යන්නම්. This is the technologies used in developing front end. So basically we have designing layout, buttons, images and animations. So when you go to a website, you can see such kind of images and animations, hovering effects. So these all are coming under the front end, and you all know that we have to use the HTML, CSS and JavaScript for the creating these front end application. HTML the basic structure, and CSS we can style the web page, and JavaScript we can embed the interactivity into a web page. So going forward, there are some frameworks of front end. So actually React is a JavaScript library. It's not a framework, but Angular is a very popular framework by Google, and Vue.js is also a framework. So these are some framework related to the front end web development, and I invite you to focus on these areas if you have not even done this before. So in the next slide, you can see the content related to the backend. So as I have told previously, this is the things happening behind of the scenes. So in the backend, we solve server logic, authentications, database operations, and data processing. So when it comes to the tech stack, there are several languages used. So the most popular or the modern language is Node.js. So you and me have already worked with Node.js nowadays. So Python is also very popular language, and PHP, it is a good old programming language, and Java and Ruby also. So database, we have MySQL and MongoDB, and this is not the all. There are tens of databases available. There are databases of relational databases. There can be databases of non-relational databases. I have explained it's on the next slide as well. So there are some backend frameworks as well. So these are the Express, Django, and Laravel. So the Express framework comes with the Node.js language, Node.js runtime environment, and Django comes with Python, and Laravel comes with PHP. So as I have told previously, a full stack developer is a developer who can handle both the front end and back end. එතකොට මේ full stack developer කෙනෙක් කියලා කියන්නේ අර තිබ්බ වගේ front end එකට අදාළ buttons, styles ලස්සන කරලා ඒ ටික user ට පේන ටික හදන එකයි. ඊට පස්සේ user ට පේන්නේ නැති අපේ අර server එක පැත්තේ වෙන authentication එක, authorizations ටික, file management, security මේ ටික handle කරන එක දෙකම කරනවා නම් එයාට කියනවා අපි full stack developer කෙනෙක්. එහෙම නැත්නම් full stack development එකක් එතන වෙනවා කියලා. හරි. We have come to our third topic as well. So this is a comprehensive version of the things I have told earlierly. So you can see the programming languages used in web development. So in the front end, you can see HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So these are already known by you. So the backend language has already talked by me. And when it comes to databases, here I have attached a more detailed view. So when it comes to databases, there are several ways we can categorize this. අපිට database කියන එක ගත්තට පස්සේ එක විදිහට categorize කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේක උදාහරණ අපි relational සහ non relational කියලා දෙකකට බෙදනවා. එතකොට relational databases කියලා කියන්නේ අපි basically SQL තියෙන්නේ. SQL වල අපි table wise තමයි data store කරන්නේ. එතකොට අපි අර A level කාලෙත් MySQL වගේ install කරගෙන මෙන්න මේ වගේ relational databases වල වැඩ කරලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේකේ structured data store කරන්න මෙන්න මේ relational database කියන වර්ගය ගොඩක් popular වෙලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට SQLite කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ MySQL වගේම තමයි ඊට වැඩිය ගොඩක් light weight database එකක්. මේක අපිට file එකක් විදිහට තමයි save කරගන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේක බොහොම light weight විදිහට අපේ performance එක අඩු සමහර task වලට යොදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේකේ සමහර limitations උත් තියෙනවා. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ PostgreSQL කියන එක MySQL වල තියෙන advanced database එකක්. ඊට වැඩිය වෙන database වර්ගයක්. MySQL වගේම තමයි. නමුත් ඊට වැඩිය advanced features තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ NoSQL කියලා කියන්නේ මේකේ අපි අර SQL වල ගහනවා වගේ syntax පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේකේ එක වෙනුවට වෙන්නේ document store කරන්න තමයි මෙන්න මේ NoSQL කියන database වර්ගය පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේකට ආවම ප්‍රධානම වලට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් MongoDB ගැන. ඔයාලා අහලා තියෙන MongoDB කියන්නේ NoSQL database එකක්. එහෙම නැත්නම් non-relational database එකක්. ඊට පස්සේ DynamoDB කියලා තියෙනවා. DynamoDB කියලා කියන්නේ AWS වගේ තියෙන non-relational database එකක්. මේක අපිට key value pairs විදිහට මෙන්න මේ non-relational database වල data store කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලා හැමෝම දන්නවා ඇති කියලා හිතන මෙන්න මේ Firestore කියන එක. Firestore කියලා කියන්නේ Google එකේ තියෙන NoSQL database එකක්. ඊට පස්සේ Supabase කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ Firebase කියන එකට තියෙන free open source alternative එක. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ Firebase කියන එක අපිට paid විදිහට තමයි යන්න වෙන්නේ. නමුත් Supabase කියන එක open source විදිහට අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන්. එතනින් එහාට ගියට පස්සේ මම අලුතෙන් ටෙල් දෙකක් දාලා තියෙනවා.
Tharindu, sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. So I think I just saw someone is asked a question like, is Node.js is a language? So I think there's a small mistake in the slides. So guys, one thing to clarify here. So Node.js is not a programming language, right? So it's more like an environment or kind of a platform that allows you to run JavaScript outside the browser, right? So you need to be clear on that. And let me explain it in very simple terms. Like JavaScript is the programming language, right? Node.js is like the kitchen where you can cook using JavaScript, right? You know, even if you're outside the browser, which is the usual kitchen for JavaScript, you know, right? So yeah, JavaScript is the language, right? Node.js, it's like the tool that lets you run that language on servers or in the other places, like on your laptop or even in terminal, right? So I just need to clarify that. So there's a small mistake. So there, yeah. So I just want to clarify that. Yep. Okay, Tharindu, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Node.js is not a programming language. It's a runtime environment, and it is basically developed in front of the JavaScript. And basically, it uses the V8 engine, and it takes over the V8 engine and externally isolatedly run the JavaScript programs. So we stopped at the in-memory and caching databases. So you know, when we are using the web browsers, there are some recommendations. Let me show it. If you come to the Google and click the address bar or the search bar, you can see these suggestions or the history. So how this comes. So this is the situation where in-memory or this cache works in. So back into the slide. So apart from that, there are few situations we can use this in-memory and caching. එතකොට අපි web application එකක් එක්ක වැඩ කරන් යද්දි මේකේ back end එකේ වගේම front end එකෙත් අපිට මෙන්න මේ in-memory සහ caching කියන mechanisms දෙක යොදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ databases වර්ග දෙකක් යොදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේකෙන් අපිට අපේ තියෙන state එකක් save කරලා තියා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම මේකෙන් අපිට faster loading experience එකක් වගේත් ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ එතනින් එහාට ගියට පස්සේ අපිට තියෙනවා graph databases. graph databases වලට උදාහරණයක් විදිහට අපිට Neo4j කියන එක පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්. Neo4j කියලා කියන්නේ graph database එකක්. එතකොට graph database එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ මම හිතනවා ඔයා data structures and algorithms කරලා තියෙනවා නම් graph කියන data structure එක කරලා ඇති කියලා. මම ඒක ඔයාට සරල උදාහරණයකින් කියලා දෙන්නම්. ඔයා හිතන්න දැන් ඔයා අලුත් පළාතකට යනවා කියලා. ඔයා කැම්පස් එකට අලුතෙන් ගියපු දවස්වල කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. ඒ ගිහිල්ලා ඔයා Facebook එක යූස් කර ඉද්දි ටික දවසක් යද්දි ඔයාට සජෙෂන්ස් එන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. ඔයා මේ නිතර දෙවේල දකින්න කට්ටිය. කොහොමද එහෙම වෙන්නේ? එහෙම වෙන්නේ Facebook එකෙන් අපේ locations track කරගෙන අපේ වගේම තව අපේ අවට users ලා ඉන්නවනේ. මෙන්න මේ users ලාව එකිනෙකට connect කරලා graph එකක් අඳිනවා. ඒ graph එක අපිට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් එක ළඟ ඉන්න කට්ටිය. ඒ කියන්නේ connection එක කොහොමද හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. මෙන්න මේ වගේ අපිට database උත් connect කරලා එකිනෙකට එකක් connect වෙන විදිහ බලලා අපිට databases create කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකට තමයි වෙන්නේ මේ graph databases කියන එක implement වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට උදාහරණයක් තමයි මේ Neo4j කියලා කියන්නේ. එතකොට අපිට මෙතන තනි එකක් අරගෙන explain කරන්න විදිහක් නැහැ. ඔයා මේ දෙක පොඩ්ඩක් note එකක් දාගෙන session එකෙන් පස්සේ පොඩ්ඩක් research එකක් කරලා මේවත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න පටන් ගන්න. හරි. අපේ code topic එකට මෙතනින් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
Sorry to interrupt. So I'm jumping in because we are getting some questions. So I think we should answer these questions on the go. So sorry to interrupt. And Mohammed is asking, so are those front-end and UI and UX designers doing the same thing? So the shortest answer would be no, right? Front-end developers and UI UX designers are not doing the same thing, right? So UI UX designers, they focus on how the website or app should look and how users should feel when they use it. Right? That's what UI UX designers does. Front-end developers, they take those ideas and even the designs and build them using code so that they actually work in a browser. So basically, designers plan it, even we can say kind of design it, design ideas, and developers make it real. So both work on the same project, but but with different skills and different tools, right? That's the difference between UI UX engineers and front end engineers. Yeah, I just want to give the answer for the question. Yeah, Tharindu, it's yours.
Yeah, thank you. Aryan. So we have come to our fourth topic as well. So this is static versus dynamic websites. So I'm pretty sure that you have heard these terms before, these static websites versus dynamic websites. And before going forward, I will show some example. So I think you can see my screen. So as I mentioned in the left side, this is a static website. So what is static means that the content is always same for every person visits. So if you go to this URL, this infolanka.com, this is same to me as same to you and same to any other person in this world. So the content is hard coded and this is unique for everyone. So these static websites are used for such contents like personal portfolios, company info sites, and event landing pages. So these are typically used to show off some informations and likewise situations. Apart from that, the other one is the dynamic websites. This is our DevOps Academy website, and this is a dynamic website. You can see here there are some buttons as well. So you can enroll to our courses and do courses. You can do sign in. So if I click here and go to sign in page, you can see we can sign in. So these are the main difference between these static websites versus dynamic website. When I go to the home page, you can see this area has been changed. So this is dynamic. So let's go back to our slide.
So again, we are getting a lot of questions, I guess, and some questions I could see like in our next sessions, we are going to discuss more. Like someone is asking about what is an API. So we are going to discuss more about APIs in our next sessions. One of our industry expert will come and deliver kind of a hands-on project, and they will explain about APIs. But since someone has already asked, I'll give a small explanation. So API, it stands for like application programming interface, guys, right? So how to explain? So it's like a bridge that lets two different software systems talk to each other, right? So that's the basic idea, right? It's kind of a bridge that lets two different software systems. One system is here and another system is here, so they need to talk. Then API enables that mechanism, right? So you use APIs, all the time, like when an app shows Google Maps inside it, or when you log in using your Facebook or Google account. So all these scenarios you are using APIs, right? And behind the scenes, what's happening is one app is sending a request through an API, using an API, and the other is sending back data as a response, right? So that's what's happening. And what's about API? So application programming interfaces. So I'm just giving a brief, but guys, we are going to discuss more about this thing in our upcoming sessions, right? Tharindu, give me few minutes, like if we can solve, like they are asking some questions. Okay, are Firestore and Firebase same or not? Okay, actually the answer is no. Firestore and Firebase are not exactly the same, but I would say they are related. Like Firebase is some kind of a platform, right? It has many tools and services for building applications, right? So like authentication, hosting, databases, you could say storage, analytics, and etc., right? When it comes to Firestore, I think we call it as Cloud Firestore, I guess, as I remember. So is one service inside Firebase, right? It's just a one service inside Firebase. So it's a NoSQL database actually that helps you store and sync data for your apps in real time. So that's the difference between Fire, but these are related, man. So you need to know that. Okay. Okay. We are getting some. Okay, but Tharindu, you can continue while I am checking the chat. Yep.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
there is another questions. Tensa is asking what is the difference between landing page and websites.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. The Landing page basically this is it shows off the information of a company or some institute just briefly. They show what they do, what is their company name, and what they are offering, what their services. And when it comes to website, it is more than a landing page. It has several pages and it has some functionalities. It has some forms and it has some uh, interactive features. So that is the main difference between a landing page and a website. So don't complicate these things. Landing page and website is two different things. So
Yeah,
let's
when
yes.
it comes to landing page and exactly. So I need to add something. So when it comes to landing page, so it's like a single web page, guys. It's like made for one specific goal. Like let's say getting people to sign up or download something, right? Or click on a link. So when it comes to I'm working at KodeKloud, so we are creating hundreds of landing pages per month because we have a lot of assets that people need to download. So right now, landing page is specifically for a kind of a specific goal, right? And when it comes to a website, it's totally different. Like it's kind of a collection of pages. In a website, there can be a lot of pages, right? It gives more information like homepage, about pages, services, blogs, contacts, and everything, right? So it's like the kind of a full online home for a business or for an individual or a person, right? So that's the difference between landing page and homepage. And yeah, I just want to add something to Tharindu's answer. And guys, these are really good questions actually. Very good questions anyway. Okay, thank you for asking. So yeah, Tharindu, go ahead and continue
So
your session.
එතකොට
Yeah.
ලෑන්ඩින් පේජ් එකට යන්නේ ඩොමේන් නේම් එකක් වගේ ටයිප් කරලාද?
Sorry, මල්ලි මට ඇහුන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයා කිව්වේ.
අපි මේ ලෑන්ඩින් පේජ් එකට යන්න ඕන නම් එතකොටත් අපි අර වෙබ්සයිට් එකට යනවා වගේ ඩොමේන් නේම් එක
ඔව්
ටයිප් කරලාද යන්නේ?
ඔව් මල්ලි ලෑන්ඩින් පේජ් එක කියන එක දැන් මම සිංහලෙන් අහපු නිසා අහස කරා. ඒක ඩිප් එකද කිව්වේ අර ස්පෙસિෆිකලි අර ගෝල් එක අපේ පර්පස් එක මත තමයි මේ ඩිෆරන්ස් එක කරන්න තමයි. නැතුව මේ ඉන්ටර්නල්ස් වැඩ කරන විදිහේ මේ එහෙම වෙනසක් නැහැ දකින්න. ඒක මේ මෙහෙමයි අපිට තියෙන තැන් තියෙනවා. වෙනකොට අපිට උඩ ටච් කරද්දි උඩ ලෙවල් එකෙන් බැලුවම අර මූලිකවම තියෙන ස්පෙસિෆික් ගෝල් එකකට තමයි ලෑන්ඩින් පේජ් එකක් තියෙන්නේ. රයිට්? අපේ මොකද්ද වෙබ්සයිට් එකක් ගත්තොත් වෙබ් එකක් ගත්තොත් මේක collection of pages. ඒක ඊට වැඩිය ලොකු එහා ගිහලා like business for an individual ඒ වගේ දෙයකට. මම අර example එකකට දැන් landing pages තමයි හොඳම උදාහරණය. දැන් අපි KodeKloud එකේ මම අපේ තියෙනවා අපි දවසකට මාසයකට landing page 50ක් වගේ හදන. හේතුව අපිට specifically download කරගන්න දේවල් තියෙනවා. සමහරවිට අපේ KodeKloud එකේ තියෙන courses promote කරද්දී ඒවා සම්බන්ධව specifically අපිට මේවා කරන්න තියෙනවා. right? අනේ ඒ වගේ specific goal එකකට තමයි page තියෙන්නේ. ගොඩක් වෙලාට web page එක වගේ complex නෑ වගේ. තේරුණා නේද? මම කියන දේ පැහැදිලිද?
ඔව් තේරුණායි thank you.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Keep asking questions. So we'll answer those. Please continue the session. If not, be able to deliver all the content. So just continue the session. I'll at the meantime I'll take care of these questions as well. Yep. Go ahead.
So thank you, Nimesha. Yeah, and we have reached to our fifth title as well. So now we have come to the web hosting and domains. So as you can see in this picture, there is a form. දැන් ඇත්ත ලෝකේ හිතන්න ගෙදරක් තියෙනවා මේ ගෙදරට මේ මගේ ගෙදර කියලා හිතන්නකෝ මගේ ගෙදරට එන්න දැන් මෙතන දකුණු පැත්තේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය බලන් ඉන්නවා think this is my home and there is a lot of people waiting to come to my home but there is a problem they can't see any website or any home why is that there is a gap or there is a barrier between my website or my home and the people so even though I have developed this website inside my computer anyone else me can't access this website. දැන් මම මගේ කම්පියුටර් එකේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකක් හදලා දාගෙන හිටියට මේක ඔයාට මෙතෙන්දී access කරන්න බෑනේ. ඒ වගේම ලෝකෙ ඉන්න වෙන කාටවත් access කරන්නත් බෑ. ඔන්න ඔතෙන්දී තමයි අපිට web hosting කියන දේ ඕන වෙන්නේ. web hosting වලදී තමයි අර මම මුලින් කිව්වා වගේ client server model එක පාවිච්චි වෙන්නේ. So to solve this problem we need to use the web hosting and I have already shown you in the client server model we need to use a server to host our web application and then only the other people can access our website. So let me give a second and I will show you some real world web hosting. Yeah, this is our real world our server. Actually, we are using the hosting as our server provider, and this is our dashboard. We can go to our home and you can see this is a live server. When it comes to the website leads, you can see these all websites are live now. So including our DevOps Academy, there are several websites we have deployed in this server. And likewise, we can add websites and email services and domains as well. So I just show this to get an insight for you. And let's go back into our slides. So we have discussed the problem and the solution. I think අපිට තේරෙනවා දැන් මෙතන ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා මගේ මැෂින් එකේ හදපු වෙබ්සයිට් එක මේකෙම තියාගෙන හිටියට වැඩක් නැහැ මේක පිට කට්ටියට ඇක්සස් කරන්න දෙන්න නම් මේක අපි සර්වර් එකක දාන්න ඕන. So we have identified the problem and the solution is to host our web application in a server. But there is another problem. I have mentioned it in the right side in the red color. You can see there are the server. They can see that, but they can't access that. See, there's a huge amount of frauds and there are barriers as well. ඉතින් දැන් අපිට වෙබ්සයිට් එක සර්ව් කරාට මදි මේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකට යන්න පාර දැනගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඔයා දැන් මාව අඳුරනවා මගේ ගෙදර තියෙන්නේ කොතනද කියලා මට නිකන් කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඕන ඩිස්ට්‍රික්ට් එකක් කියලා ඒත් ඔයාට මගේ ගෙදර හොයාගෙන ඉන්න පුළුවන්ද? එහෙම බෑනේ. ඔයාට හරියටම මගේ ගෙදර ඇඩ්‍රස් එක දැනගෙන ඉන්න ඕන. ඔන්න ඔතෙන්දී තමයි අපිට ඊළඟ කෑල්ල අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ. So the next part comes into domains. Even though if you know there is a website called DevOps Academy or whatever, you need to know the exact IP address or the exact address of that server to reach that website. So that is the situation where we need to use these domain names. So that is shown in the problem 2. Let's see what is the solution for this problem as well. So in this slide, you can see we have a solution for this also. So this is the solution. You can see domain name. I have already discussed about these domain names when it comes to the server and client model, the HTTP request and response. These people go to this DNS office. Take this as an example. So they are asking, I want to go to the DevOps Academy home, and this DNS office will inform them with the actual address, which is the IP address of our DevOps Academy. And these guys know the address, the actual address of our DevOps Academy server. Then they can navigate to our server and reach our website. So again, I will show some real world demonstrations.
I've seen a couple more questions. Let me answer maybe one or two. Yeah, there are a lot of questions popping up, so I couldn't even. Yeah, okay. One is like, where is it? Yeah. Dinuki was asking about, does MySQL more secure for large web applications? Shall I know more about that? Yeah. So Dinuki, the thing is, yes, MySQL can be secure for large web applications. There's no debate. But if you set it up the right way, please keep it in mind, right? So yes, MySQL can be secure for any large any web application, but you need to set it up the right way, right? So MySQL is a very stable and widely used database, and many big companies use it. But security depends on how you configure it, not just the tool itself. That's what you need to know. So these are some advanced concepts. So kind of a very good question actually. And when it comes to MySQL, I could say these are the main things that makes MySQL secure. One is like strong user access control. You can create specific users with limited permissions. That's one capability in MySQL. And another thing is data encryption, right? You can encrypt the data and the connections between your app and the database. That can be done. And firewall and IP restrictions, that's there. So you can limit which server so people can connect to it, right? and even the regular updates. So, keeping MySQL updated fixes, so known for security bugs. So those are the main strengths when it comes to MySQL. But the thing is, if you don't secure your passwords or database connections, anyone can attack it, right? That's up to you, securing your passwords and database connections. And if you allow too many permissions to one user, they might access or change everything. So then all gone, right? So way, like MySQL big gaps. It's true. I agree. But only if the developer or DevOps team follows good security practices. That's what you need to keep in mind, right? So yeah, that's a answer for the question, because I can't spend a lot of time. We need to. I'm trying my best to answer these questions because people are waiting for me to answer some questions. Okay, another thing, a lengthy question. So can you explain the way that how to make a connection among collections? Actually, we can do that using foreign keys in SQL, but how we can do that in NoSQL, such as Mongo? Okay. Absolutely. So you are asking a very smart and common question when moving from SQL or relational databases to the NoSQL, like MongoDB, right? Let me explain it in a very, very simple way, taking few minutes. So in SQL, like MySQL, so you are right. We use foreign keys to connect tables. That's correct. So one table has a key like, use ID, and another table uses that key to link back, right? So this is called a relationship in relational databases, and it's strictly enforced by the database. That's correct. But when it comes to in NoSQL, the databases like MongoDB, so in MongoDB, there are no foreign keys, but you can still connect collections into a couple of ways, as I could remember. One is this referencing way, and another one, it's not on my head. Another way is there. I couldn't recall. But anyway, referencing is one way, like you store the ID of one document inside another, right? So we'll show these things, guys, in our third session maybe, because this is just the beginning of our web development session, and I didn't expect you guys to have these type of questions. I think these guys are really smart. So very good question. So we can do that, like referencing. So another way, who is this guy, Ramit? Another way that you can do this in NoSQL, I couldn't recall, but we'll let you know in third session maybe. So yeah, that's the answer for that one. But go home and try out this referencing, the manual foreign key thing, Ramit. Okay. Tharindu, go ahead. Just continue. Yes. Thank you, Malay. Someone is adding the answer, like embedding. That's the second way. Nested data, actually. So that's the second way. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's continue where we stop. So finally, we talk about DNS and domain names. So domain names basically means the address, that human readable address of a website, like google.com, facebook.com, amazon.com, as DevOps academy.online.com. So these are domain names. So I previously show you an image of people waiting to go for DevOps Academy home, and they ask the IP address from DNS office. So I will show some DNS related stuff to you from this browser. So when I type devopsacademy.online, our URL, and search that, you can see the domain name servers are working or not. These are actually some regions of the domain name servers of our server. You can see some of them are already available and some of them are failure. This is the nearest one in the India, and this is currently unavailable. So these are also available. So when it comes to the finding of our actual IP address, it first checks our browser cache, as I already mentioned, and then it comes to the DNS servers one by one during the distance and such kind of criteria. So these are the propagation of our DNS servers in around the worldwide. There can be hundreds of DNS servers as well. So in the next browser tab, have use a tool called whois. So also you can use this tool, type who.is in your browser URL, and I will type my DevOpsAcademy.online domain as well as search key. So after pressing the search button, you can see this screen. This get a tons of description of my domain name. So basically, who is used to find out some details and information regarded to a website or domain name, such kind of things. So you can see our servers registrations data as well. So you can see our name servers as well. Apart from that, you can see our emails, phones, and the related stuff to our server. So if I go to a name server, you can see another tons of information related to that name server. And basically that is the domain name server and domain names works. You can investigate and find out some context regarded to the domain names as well, right? So we have come to our sixth slide. So this is the type of web hostings. So there are different kinds of web hosting available. මං හිතනවා ඔයාලා මේ වෙනකොට අහලද කියලා වෙබ් හොස්ටිං වලට ආවට පස්සේ එක එක විදිහේ අපිට වෙබ් හොස්ටිං ඔප්ෂන්ස් තියෙනවා මාකට් එකේ. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ වෙබ් හොස්ටිං ඔප්ෂන්ස් අපි අපේ රික්වයර්මන්ට් එකට අනුව ගැලපෙන තැනදී ගැලපෙන විදිහට purchase කරන්න ඕන. So there are different types of web hosting available in the market and we need to choose the best according to our requirement and the target audience as well as and our especially the traffic and our requirement. So the first one is the shared hosting, and this is the most common and most cheapest hosting type. So the shared hosting like a family living a single home. ඔයා හිතන්න ගෙදරක ඔයාගේ අම්මා තාත්තා ආච්චි සීයා ඔක්කොම ටික ෂෙයා කරගෙන බෙදාගෙන ඉන්නවා. මේ ගෙදරට ඕන යාළුවෙකුත් නවත්තගෙන ඉන්නවා කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. එතකොට මේ ගෙදර ඔයා මේ හැමොත් එක්කම ෂෙයා කරගෙන පාවිච්චි කරනවා. Similarly, you are sharing your website in a server or just a computer. Server is a computer, no? So you are sharing the server with some another websites when hosting. So you have already hosted your website inside the server, and there are another people inside the world and already hosted their website in the server. So the main advantage of the process, it is cheap and very beginner friendly. So there's a downside of this as also. So the downside is this is slower and less secure because there are many other applications and there can be some security vulnerabilities. So if someone want to hijack or something, do a brute force attack, they can attack if there's any vulnerability of our website. So these are very cheaper. If you want to start some kind of web deployment, you can start by this, and there are even free hosting services available nowadays. No, so hosting is one of the shared hosting provider, famous one, and Bluehost is also some shared hosting service. So the next type of web hosting is VPS hosting. VPS means virtual private server. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ VPS කියන එකේදී වෙන්නේ අපිට අර කලින් තිබ්බ ප්‍රශ්නේ solve කරලා මෙතෙන්දී මේක තවත් simple කරලා දීලා තියෙනවා. So the VPS, this is what this simplifies our previous problem and make more simplify our solution. You can see a house here, and this has rented these particular areas. You can see the room 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So if a person want to get a area, they can purchase that. Then it is owned by that person. දැන් මට මේ කෑල්ල ගන්න ඕන, මට මේක සල්ලි දීලා ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ house එක. එතකොට මේකට වෙන කාටවත් එන්න බෑ. මේ ටික මටම වෙන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. So likewise, we can actually purchase area of server, and that is called VPS, and that section is dedicated to you. Actually, that section is virtual section, not a physical section. They are using some technologies called virtualizations as well. So using such like tools, they are provisioning you a virtual dedicated section. So then you can have a more security rather than going with some shared hosting, and you have your own space. You can do whatever you need. So this is good for some large scale applications and so and so on. So as time going, I will quickly do these slides as well. So the next type of web hosting is cloud hosting. Cloud hosting is the modern trend of hosting, as I can see. So there are several cloud providers. You have already heard there are AWS, there are Google Cloud, there are Azure by Microsoft. So these are actually some amazing platforms or tools to deploy our websites. So what is the special thing here is that if one server fails, there's another server is turning on. It's called the reliability. So you don't have to worry about that. What will do if the server fails or something like that. These servers are very reliable. Think if one region has destroyed their whole servers by tsunami or tornado, whatever, you don't need to suffer from that because there is an actual real-time copy of your website in another region of the world, and you can access that website using these technologies. Actually, in the AWS context, there are scenario calls, availability zones, and regions. Actually, there are several regions. I guess there are 24 or 31 regions. I can't guess now. You can Google it and find it out. There are several regions like US Pacific, India, Mumbai, Singapore. So there are likewise various regions available. Inside the region, there is a term called availability zone. So availability zones means a set of servers. A set of servers are grouped together and there are multiple available zones inside the single region. Likewise, there are that kind of regions available for the world, and there are always replicas between the servers. So you don't have to worry about your application security. So these cloud service providers will take care of that.
So while you are getting ready, Tharindu, let me go through chat and answer a couple of questions. So, what is the best, MySQL or SQL? Okay, guys, I think question seems to be a bit ambiguous. Like SQL is a language, guys, right? And MySQL is a database system that uses SQL to manage data, right? So let's take an example like Git and GitHub. Have you ever heard about Git and GitHub? Raise your hands. Oh, what is Git? What is GitHub? Are those same? Yeah, Himanshu. What is Git? Indrajit. Anyone, please unmute your mic and answer. What is Git? What is the difference between Git and GitHub? Oh, are those same terms? J, no. Okay. Yeah, version control systems. Okay, guys, since time is passing, so let me explain. So, Git is the tool that tracks code changes, right? Like SQL tracks data, right? GitHub is different. GitHub is a platform like built on top of Git where you store, share, and collaborate. Like MySQL is a system using SQL, right? So same applies to SQL. Like Git and GitHub is not related to like databases or anything, but I have just taken an example. So SQL is not a database, okay? It's a structured query language, no, right? So MySQL is the database system that uses SQL to manage data. And maybe the person who already asked this question, I'm not sure what was he asking, but anyway, maybe the question is like MySQL versus MS SQL. I'm not sure what's the exact. So in that case, if you ask a question like which one should you use, then there are a few things that we need to discuss. So guys, we will discuss these things because you guys are asking questions from the second session actually at the moment. So we'll surely get back to these questions. We'll note down these and get back to this. If not, I have to spend a lot of time on answering these questions because we have another part for me to deliver, like career parts, salaries, and everything. The areas that you want to hear. So we'll get back to this stuff in the next sessions. So just keep tight. We will get back to it, right? Okay. Okay, Tharindu, go ahead and continue. So then I can take on. Yeah.
So previously I have talked and stopped about domain names and it didn't work. So I have gone back and find the solution. You need to come to the nslookup.io website and you can type the domain name. When I type the domain name and press find IP address button, you can see our DevOpsAcademy.online servers IP address. Then I can copy this and paste here and press enter. Do you think this going to be appear or not? Please use your chat and drop me a message before I hit enter.
It will appear.
Yeah, more and more. Please quickly. Yeah, most of you are saying this will appear. Let's see if this appear. Yeah, you can see this is not appear. So why is that? Yeah, I will tell. The reason is we have set up some security rules. We directly not enabling you to come to our websites using this IP address. That is where security comes in web development. So that is a key area that you need to focus when developing website. And this is some kind of untouching area most of the time by you and me. And we should use these security techniques to ensure our reliable webs. So I previously talked about shared web hosting, and there can be some vulnerabilities and they can be exposed to some attacks. So likewise, we need to set up our security as well. So this is a quick overview to the previous section I have talked, and let's go to the other section. So we have come to the last part of my session today. We have now to talk about the modern web development trends. Now we have talked about what is the web development and why it is involved and what is the technologies and languages and runtimes used in this web development, what are the hosting services or hosting applications and types available and such kind of things. So in this section, we are going to talk about what are the modern and modern trends of the web development. The first one is serverless architecture. So when you heard the name serverless, you can think there is no server. So actually that is not the correct scenario. Even though it is suggesting that there is no server, there's a server. But the thing is that we can't see or access that server directly. මේකෙදි serverless කියලා කිව්වට අපිට server එකක් නැහැ කියලා නෙමෙයි මෙතන අදහස් වෙන්නේ. ඇත්තට මෙතන server එකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි ඒ server එකට අපිට access නැහැ. මේක අතපත ගාලා මේකේ settings වෙනස් කරන්න අපිට විදිහක් නැහැ. එතකොට මොන වෙලාවටද මේක ඕන වෙන්නේ? So when it comes to the situations that we need, we can save our development time by using the serverless architecture or serverless servers, because we just need to deploy our application only. We don't need to take care of the backend. To set up any databases, set up any, install any operating system, or likewise, we just need to run the application whatever we want, and that runs on that platform. So we don't need to manage the servers. And the another advantage is these are auto scaling. Suppose that the January month, your website is an e-commerce clothing store. There's 100 people are viewing your site. In the April thing, in the New Year season, there are 2,000 people are browsing your site. So what happening if you are using a normal site? So if you are using a normal site, it can be break down your site, whole site. So if you use the serverless architecture by a cloud service provider like AWS, this is auto scalable. So that is mean there can be some horizontal scaling as well as vertical scaling. So you can learn this stuff in our upcoming sessions. So when we use this serverless architecture, these advantages are happening. So the next advantage is this is pay per use. So we don't need to pay the ideal cost. That means if I host a server in my own place, I need to purchase them first, and I have to pay the electricity bills. I have to hire people who maintain that. In this serverless architecture, the cloud service scenario, I don't need anything of these to use. So this is again great for microservices and APIs. These contexts will be talked in the upcoming sessions. So the limitations are this. The cold starts. Cold starts means that if we run a program in the first run, it should take time, additional time or some larger time than normal. So again, this is not ideal for running the long tasks or heavy workloads. So if you are planning to run a heavy workload, this serverless architecture not being the ideal, because the backend architecture, backend infrastructure is not made by us, and it is made by a cloud service provider, and it cannot be the exact requirement what we want. So it is not ideal for the long running task. So the limited execution time. Limited execution time means these cloud service providers provide some exact limited maximum time to run our program. In the AWS, this serverless feature is using their service called AWS Lambda. I will quickly show up you. This is my AWS console, and if I check Lambda here, you can see here, run the code without thinking about servers. That means the serverless architecture. So if I go inside the serverless, you can see this is the interface of AWS Lambda service of the AWS cloud provider. So likewise, here we can add our program and set up our environment variables and secrets and so on and so forth. And just we have to the run. So this is a very simple demonstration. And apart from that, we can add some triggers also. Suppose that the situation when the user press a button, then this program will be triggered, then return you an output. So this is the serverless architecture. The next one is the most famous one, the AI in web development. Most of people are asking whether web developers will replaced by AI or not. There can be possibility if you not adapting with that. So there are so much tools in nowadays that can generate even whole website, whole code, even React project, Stack project, or whatever. So you need to get the basic first, and you need to go for that with learning AI as well, for some extent also. So there are some tools like GitHub Copilot, Codium, and such like tools, and they can integrate with our IDEs like Visual Studio Code, PyCharm, and JetBrains products. We can integrate our AI generated tools. And also there are some AI chatbots and assistants. These are some things related to the modern web development trends. And there's another called PWA. PWA means progressive web apps. Progressive web apps means that application or some website like thing. Mainly this is focusing on mobile approach. So when using the PWS or progressive web apps, you don't need internet connection at the every time. Don't take it in the wrong way. We don't need the internet connection every time. So sometimes this need the internet connection, but some of features can be accessed without the internet. Likewise, you can imagine such services like Uber Eats. This even though we have turned off the internet, the app can load and some content is showing off. So that is where PW or progressive web apps is used. So it allows us to use offline accesses, push notifications, and home screens. So some examples are Starbucks app and Uberlite apps. You can search and find many more. So basically, this is done by using the technical called the service workers. So you can search JavaScript service workers and identify and learn more things related to the progressive web apps. And the advantages are faster loading, great for low bandwidth and mobile first users. So the last one is low code and no code platforms. So as rising of the AI, there are several platforms and many more platforms that reduce the need for use human interaction to coding and develop such kind of websites and so more. So there are no code and low code tools. No code means there are zero need of interacting with the human, and low code means there are still need of a human, but the majority part is taken by an AI. So before wrap up, I will show something related to that also. So I have come to the Flutter Flow. I hope you have heard about Flutter Flow. Flutter is a framework for creating mobile apps, and it is a very popular framework used to build mobile applications in nowadays. So Flutter is basically runs Flutter is basically using a programming language called Dart, and it is some complicated programming language. If you have used, you may know. We need to use some heavy object-oriented concepts as well, and some object models as well. And there are specific terminologies and some file categories and some so and so more. So they have created the low code or no code platform. This is actually a low code platform, and this allows us to build a mobile application even just a minute by using drag and drop features. So as you can see in my screen, there are templates also. I can use one and click use template, and I can give a project name, you and create project. You can see the app template is running and it is creating in the backend. Can you skip this? You can see in a minute the app is done. I can run in the browser. No need to set up any emulators here. No need of Android emulator installation. I just can run in here. I don't go for that. You can see there are all the elements need to build the mobile application. There are Google Maps, video players, timelines, buttons, text. All the tools are available. You can use this to build your mobile applications without knowing Dart programming language or Flutter specific framework related things. So this is the power of AI and low code and no code tools. So this Flutterflow is actually a paid tool and there are some limitations in the free version. But if since you are university students, you can use the Flutterflow for 1 year period for free. You can use your university email address and get this Flutterflow free. So again, this is a website created by AI. Think how this looks like a traditional website versus this one. So this is the modern trends in web development. So I think I have come to the rest of my part of this session, and I will stop from here, and I wish you all the very best, and I wish you success of your all future endeavors as well. So I hand over this session to Mr. Nimesha. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Tharindu. That was super insightful, especially for those of you who are, planning to get into real world projects soon, I guess. So, yeah. And from here onwards, since Tharindu discussed all the technical stuff related to web development, starting from the front end to back end, and as I remember, he already discussed about some of these roles related to web application development, like front-end engineer, back-end engineer, and full stack engineer, right? So I'm not going to repeat again because it's going to you are going to get bored. So I was a full stack engineer. For around 7 years, I was a full stack engineer at IFS R&D technology team. So I was working with different technologies. For before I left IFS, I was really good in React front-end development and Java middle tier and Oracle database actually. So, but one thing to mention, guys, tech is moving fast, right? To get a good job or even a freelance project, just having a degree is not enough anymore. It's a bit different than 2017. I was graduated from University of Moratuwa 8 years back. I'm a bit old now. Yeah. So don't guess my age. Like, so anyway, it's long ago, 2017. At that time, if you know some data structures and algorithms, if you are good in at least one programming language like C or Java, right? And if you have some good problem solving skills and like good analytical thinking abilities, then you are good to go. You can land a good job. Because I know by my experience, I know it. Like I was good in Java and C at that time, right? And I was like kind of an average guy. Like I'm good in problem solving and like analytical thinking. So, and also I'm good in data structures and algorithms. So then, I went to a couple of interviews, like we had our career fair. So I'm just sharing my experience because I know this is going to be really valuable for you guys. And I don't want to make this like, I want to make this like it's 9:30 and I need you guys to awake, right? So at that time, so we got our career fair at University of Moratu, and I landed my job from my career fair, and I didn't I didn't go to any other interviews. I just landed my first job as a fresh graduate from our career fair. So if someone asks me, like, brother, what are the skills that you had at that time? So I'll say I'm good in programming, like basics, fundamentals of programming. I know how to write a loop. I know how to write a conditional statement, right? And I know how to handle data structures and algorithms. And also I'm good in providing solutions. Like if you ask me a let's say if you are giving me a real world problem, and I'm pretty good in designing solutions at that time and even now. So I'm good on these things. But in today's software engineering field or IT field, it's totally different, guys. Like you need to have more skills than that. If you are good in Java, C or JavaScript, that's good. You need it. It's a must. You need to be good in programming. If you are going to be a front-end guy, back-end guy, or even a full-stack guy, you need to be good in programming. That's the number one. But I should say, apart from that, you need to be like aware of cloud. That's really important because at my time when I was joining IFS, like we were developing ERP system, right? At IFS, that's the main product of IFS at that time, around 2017. So we deployed our application in on-premise servers. I mean, we had this so-called server rooms, right? So IFS manages everything, like ordering computers, wiring these things up, right? And installing softwares, installing operating systems, and everything, right? That is how traditional systems worked, right? But today's world, we are using these on-premise servers, but we are more into cloud. So as a front-end guy, back-end guy, or even you're a full-stack guy, you need to be aware of what is cloud computing. What is cloud computing, guys? So just a simple answer is cloud computing is like you are renting computing power or even storage, networking, everything via internet, and you pay something for that. Like you are renting out a building, you pay monthly and you are getting the building, right? So you need to be aware of cloud computing basics. When you're learning about cloud, like I told you, like cloud is very important. Then the major skill that you need to improve is operating systems and specifically the Linux systems, right? It doesn't matter you are a front-end guy, back-end guy, or like full-stack guy. you need to start learning Linux operating system. It's mandatory these days. If you want to understand cloud, and if you are going to go like work on cloud systems, then you need to be good in Linux, right? That's one skill that you need to master. And another one is learning version control system like Git. Git is the version control system, and GitHub is the it lets you share your code and show your projects to the world, right? So you need to be good in Git and GitHub. That's the second one. And security aspects, the next important thing. So when it comes to cybersecurity basics, you need to be good in these areas as well, right? I'm not diving deep since we have very limited time, but I am just going through each of these skills, right? And the last thing is you need to do real projects, right? Concepts, theories are really important, right? You need fundamentals. You need to know theories, concepts, right? These are the you need to like, but then you should be good at hands-on. You need to do things, guys. Like you need to train your muscle memory, like, right? So you need to do by yourself. That's really important. That's why I'm telling you, start today, start building your own projects. Start very small, like very simple UI, small backend, and just develop some kind of a project. Even you can include this in your CV and push your project to GitHub repository, your personal GitHub, right? So these are really important. And the final one is soft skills. Soft skills in the sense like, since you are going to be software engineers anyway, it doesn't matter front end or back end or full stack, you are going to be an engineer, right? So then soft skills is still important, guys. In my early career, I'll give some tips to you guys. I'm recalling like how I did this. So at my early career stage, when I was at IFS, I used to do presentations for my team. Like I was asking my manager, like uh, his name is like Samadhi. So Samadhi, I I was kind of a real techie guy these days. I wanted to learn everything. Like I was learning Java, and I'm following a Udemy course or even kind of a YouTube tutorial, and I'm learning the basics. And then I need to follow JavaScript. Then I start doing that. So likewise, I had some monthly plans or like quarterly plans. So like I was really interested in learning things, and I'm grabbing concepts like rapidly. So I went to my manager and I told him like, I'm good in technical stuff, and now I need to share the things that I learned with my team. So at that time I was just a software engineer, okay, just a software engineer. So then he told me like, just Nimesha, go ahead, schedule a meeting, like bi-weekly meetings. You can share everything that you learn, monthly or weekly, anyway, right? So that's how I like I started to brush up my like soft skills, right? So I ask you guys, please, like good communication is very important, right? It's important as good code, right? So practice talking to others, right? You got friends in your boarding place, so practice talking, right? Talking to others. And another important thing is you should learn how to explain your ideas clearly, right? That's really important, right? Even I am still learning. I don't know whether you have heard about Mumshad Manat, the founder of KodeKloud, the founder of the company that I am working. So he's like the god of DevOps teaching. If you check Mumshad Manambat in Udemy or even KodeKloud, he got some amazing courses, best-selling courses around the world. What's the reason, man? The only reason is his teaching style. He knows, like I did, I talk with Mumshad Manambat day to day, like I'm working with him. So he I should say he knows very limited technologies and tools, right? Very limited number of technologies and tools, but he's really good in explaining things, right? So you need to learn how to explain your ideas clearly, right? So join group projects or open source stuff and talk, present. This is really important because in your interview, you need to give like good first impression to your interviewers. So think about that. Soft skills matter, right? Okay, then we are running out of time. So these are the main things that I need to share with you guys. But next time with the next session, I'm coming with Prasad, one of these lead engineers in top companies around the world. So we'll discuss, like we are going to do a practical project, because I saw a lot of people asking about database questions and front-end related questions and back-end related questions. So we'll try to answer all these on that session, and we are going to do a good demonstration as well. Yeah. So I think since we are near 10, I think it's the time to conclude today's session. I think you got something out of this session. Actually, we were targeting very beginners here from the first session, but I think half of the people are like not the beginners. I should say it's like advanced beginners or intermediate guys, because I saw some of these questions are like really good and advanced questions, or at least advanced beginner level questions. So really good to have that kind of an audience. So we'll be back with the second session with a demonstration, with a good demonstration, with a fully working project, and let's discuss everything on that session. I think you got the basic idea behind how web works and these roles like front-end engineer, back-end engineer, full stack guys, and I think you got some kind of an idea around these stuff. So from the next session onwards, we'll dive deep into more technical areas and discuss. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, over to you.
A heartfelt thank you to our brilliant speakers, Mr. Nimesha Jinarajadasa and Mr. Tharindu Kalhara, for sharing your time, knowledge, and experience with us. Your stories and technical insights have truly helped us better understand the future we are stepping into. To all our participants, thank you for your presence and enthusiasm. Your curiosity and engagement are what make events like this powerful and memorable. And remember, this is just the beginning. We have got more exciting sessions lined up with deeper dives into AWS, CI/CD, Docker, and much more. So stay connected with us on our official pages, look out for our updates in your inbox, and get ready for what's next. Once again, thank you all for being a part of this journey. Until we meet again, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep building in the cloud. Have a wonderful evening.